So we'll do the same. That prayer I don't have it ready in a way where I can share the screen with. So just don't look at me, or probably I'll share the screen of the prayer for wholeness. So you don't look at me. I will have to open my eyes. I have not really memorized it somehow. So we'll say it. It is kind of a preparation so that uh, you remember we had a conversation, not a conversation. It's a monologue that I generally do, where I shared that when we say the prayer for wholeness, there is a need to be very clear of the definition of being a servant. So this prayer came as a preparation, so that when we do, and when our system is in a certain state, even if consciously we are not very aware of the difference between, let's say, the Almighty and us, but then the need where we can cross the line, uh, or the probability where we cross the line of who we are and we are not, that ego aspect does not increase or gets heightened. It won't happen. I hope it makes sense. So I'm sharing the screen for the prayer for wholeness, but first there is another prayer that we will say. So for that, just close your eyes and say it after me, and then you can open eyes and read the prayer for wholeness along with me. Okay? Okay, before even that, if there is someone who is joining for the first time, I welcome you, and I'm so sorry if you just feel what is that she's talking about. You will have a good time. Just hang on. You will have a good time. You'll not, yeah, you'll not, yeah, you'll have a good time. That's all. So I'm sharing the screen of prayer for wholeness, but for now, I request everyone to close your eyes and repeat the prayer that I am saying. Okay. My voice is maximum from my end, so in case there is low volume, can you just check and increase it from your end? So please close your eyes and keep your hands in receptive position, open to the Most High and the Holy Divine Supreme Mother. Thank you for divine peace. Thank you for divine love, mercy, and grace. I humbly invoke for divine guidance, help, healing, and protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessing me with a healthy and fit body, clear heart and mind, wholesome and correct speech, faithful and grateful soul on all levels, in all directions, with humility, love, and respect, in full faith. So be it. Be receptive and inhale and exhale the blessings. Now, all those who do not know the prayer for wholeness, you can keep your eyes open and read it along with me. May I be a humble servant for the Most High and the Holy Divine Supreme Mother, with this whole body, heart, mind, speech, and soul. Put your hands in the blessing position. May I show compassionate activity towards every person and every being without exception. In the higher, in the middle, in the lower worlds, and in all 10 directions. Gently put your hands in the prayer mudra in front of your heart. Hallelujah. Shalom, Asheo in full faith. Let's chant Om thrice. Om. 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 Gently put your hands on your lap, facing upwards. Keep your eyes closed, and we will do the Archangel meditation together. All had a good meditation. Okay, before I move ahead, I want to share with all those who are joining for the first time, who are new, and all those who have been there before, that we are starting with our book study uh, from coming Monday. And coming Monday is the new moon in the Taurus constellation. So the Vesak festival that we talk about, one of a very powerful full moon from the series of three most powerful full moon of the year. It's that same energy. We will read about it today when we refer to the book, The Wisdom of the Zodiac. But uh, there are many of the people who are, associated with the Triangles Blessing team for quite some time, and they have been so beautiful requests related to the Vesak preparation. We did it last time. Last time it was totally a very different experience. We connected with the sun consciousness, and we were purifying ourselves. So this time, when this request was coming, that are we doing something specifically for Vesak? So yes, we are, but that will be using the book, The Spring of Prosperity. So when I was going through, let's say contemplating and getting into that how can we prepare ourselves this year? Every year has different vibes, different energies. And it just felt that if if as a team we choose to divide it, that the book study is happening separately and that is happening separately, I felt that the quality of the preparation will be much less. So this time we'll be preparing ourselves for Vesak using the same book, Spring of Prosperity. And a lot of us who have joined the last book study, Battling Dark Forces, many times there was the mention of seed thought meditation. And then all those who were there when Geeta came and she shared a lot. So we will do a seed thought meditation. We will meditate this time as we read the book. For all those who are new, when we read the book, I don't make slides. We read word by word. So even if you are a non-reader, I think if you are a non-reader, it is the best opportunity that you come in group. And for people who say that this time does not suit me, we record the sessions. And as you receive the book is there for you for life. The recordings are there for you for life. So it's not that, oh, that the recordings are there just for 1 month and you have to rush through it. No, if you are attending the book study, they are for you to keep, so that even years after, if you want to refer back, you have the option of referring back. So I request everybody that this is a very simple book, but this is a very juicy book too, because in simplicity we find a lot of jewels and pearls. I would really sincerely invite everyone. I have invited my friends, I have invited my family, they are joining. So from the same space, not from the aspect of promotion, you can scan me. It's not from the aspect of promotion, from the materialistic aspect, but 100% from the aspect of promotion from the spiritual aspect. 100%. Like, so do join it and you won't regret it. And all those who think, okay, I am really fairly successful, I really do not need. Oh, you do. Prosperity is just not about money. It is about everything. So a person who is prosperous will have healthy relationships, will have a healthy body. A person who is prosperous will be resourceful, will not feel that I'm spiritually, um, what do you say, spiritually not abundant. And a lot of time, like I always feel, and I say it also, that there are no bad people in the world. Everybody is good. There is only lack of understanding and knowledge and wisdom. So with this book, all those who find that, okay, I get doubts in my life if this is the rightful way of having the riches in one's life. So I think this is a book where we will learn how to have the riches with utmost purity, following all the highest principle of goodness, beauty, righteousness, where whatever like whatever choices you make in your life, you'll be making them consciously without a second doubt. Like it does not matter if Astha is believing what I'm doing is correct, if Mona ji is believing what I'm doing is correct, because as Kim, I know what am I doing. And even if all the hundred of people are praising me for something, and if it is not the right thing, that hundreds of praise cannot create the extra glamour in me. So we study from that perspective. Okay. So this is the Spring of Prosperity. We are starting next Monday. The timing will be 7:30 to 8:30, right? Yeah. Indian Standard Time. We have just really scanned, researched that this is most suitable time for the majority of people. I still know for some it will still not be convenient, so just bear. And all those who are joining, I'm taking this opportunity to remind again that please have the journal this time. One journal specifically for this book, because we will develop that art of journaling as well. And I also want to say, experiment this time. Keep two pens. One pen that you use only for this journaling, and keep another pen. Sometimes you journal with it and sometimes you use it for different times. Probably after a period of time, I would request everybody to check the difference of the pens. The pen that you only use for your spiritual journaling, and the pen that you use for this, but you also use for other things. So we do a lot of experiments. It's a fun scientific lab. So I invite everyone where we are going to have a fun time. Okay. No specific journal, any notebook, just any notebook, but only for this thing. So it is not where you have a list of how much, what we have, the list of atta, chawal, dhania. So keep it separate. That's it. Any notebook will do. Whatever you feel good, it doesn't matter. Any pen will do. Okay. So that was it
And
related.
just a second, Kim. So there is a beautiful video been made by the team today, and we'll be sharing it at 12 p.m. sharp. So I want everyone to, check your respective groups at 12 p.m. as a beautiful video will be coming in all the groups at 12 p.m. sharp. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, going back to the Archangel meditation session, where we are referring the another book of the same author, The Wisdom of the Zodiac, and because it's closest to the new moon energy, so I am referring to part two of this book. I'll just share that page. It has its own energy. So this book shows the part two as this. It's so beautiful, which says Festival of Taurus and Vesak. So this book is a very detailed book. I try to just pick something which we can discuss in this group. For the first time, I am not picking the first chapter that is mentioned here, but I am picking the third chapter. So the third chapter is related to Taurus, which is talking about the golden eye. So it is like before we go and dive into Vesak, we need to have an understanding of the constellation of Taurus, Without it, as if that aspect feels uh, incomplete, let's say. And before I go here, there is one aspect related to meditation that I really want to share with everyone. It's I'm not reading it from the book, I'm just sharing from my understanding, where the author mentioned that the question was related to what is meditation. Everybody does meditation, and then what is meditation? And it was a very beautiful, I'm just still thinking if I can find the exact words. Let me just see. It's a lot of information. I'm not getting the exact words where I read. I'll just share. So the author was saying that with due respect to everybody who does meditation and have been doing meditation, the actual meditation is that process or phenomena where we dip deep with dip dig deep within and bring out our own jewels so that we can share them as a service to the world. Does that make sense? That when we were reading other books, I think there have been mentioned that as a soul, as a person, as a being, there is a chalice, that cup that is filled with jewels. No, we all have amazing strengths, hidden talents. That's why a lot of kids who are born, we just say, oh my God, they are born talented. You know, it's not that we don't have gifts. We have, it's not our first birth. So just like we have a karmic debris with us, we have also generated lots and lots of wisdom, lots and lots of strength in ourselves. But over the period of time, because of, let's say, whatever reasons, sometimes family challenges, experiences, there are coverings and coverings and coverings, and then we just lose the contact and identification of the strengths that we have generated. The gifts that we have accumulated actually build in ourselves over the period of time. So the author says that the real meditation is the process where we go deep within and we bring out the hidden jewels. For what? To serve and to share, something like that. So when we do the book study, I will I will have a separate section where I will use the same author and the beautiful techniques of meditation, simple one to prepare. And once you know it, you can teach it to anyone. Uh, like anyone, like you can make a child do it, something like that. Once you really know the aspect of it. I don't want to do it here. Actually, it's not like I don't want to. I'm not allowed to do it in this version because it goes to public. And see, all these refined techniques, they can be dangerous, no? So there has to be a in-depth understanding where I am directly in contact with somebody who's practicing, and then we can just go back to and forth. So that was one aspect that I had to really share. So let's go ahead. So it is the constellation of Taurus, and the Taurus is addressed by the author, let's say, as the golden eye. So the constellation of Taurus is a huge bull. We all have seen the bull, constellation of Taurus, like a bull, no? So the constellation of Taurus is a huge bull with two shining eyes. One of the eyes is of very great magnitude. In ancient literature, it is called the golden eye of Taurus. So the constellation of Taurus is a huge bull with two shining eyes, with uh, one of the eyes is of very great magnitude, which is called in ancient literature as the golden eye of Taurus. It is this golden eye that watches the progress of humanity from darkness to light. Now, it is this eye that invites each human being to transform his life and walk victoriously on the earth. So there is, like when we say there is an eye that watches everyone, that's the eye of the Taurus constellation, which is always watching humanity, checking that if the humanity is walking from darkness to light, if it is walking victoriously. We have a corresponding eye watching the evolution of all the lives in our vehicles. So that phrase that says that as above, so below, it does not have a literal meaning. It just says that there is a reflection of everything that happens in the inner world at the higher levels in the lower worlds. So, in the same way, just like the golden eye of the Taurus constellation, one of the eye that keeps an eye on every human being, we have a corresponding eye watching the evolution of all the lives in our vehicles. That eye is the monad, the self, our true individuality. So when we talk about, that inner conscience that knows everything, we are actually referring to that monad, the corresponding eye of the Taurus eye that keeps a check on the evolution of all the vehicles that we have: physical, ethical, emotional, mental, etheric, spiritual, institutional. Based on how evolved a person is, there are different bodies that develops. So that I is the monad, the self, our true individuality. Once we become aware of our true self, we will see a great change in our life and in our relationship with people. So once we become aware of our true reality, we change as an individual, you know. So once we become aware of our true self, we will see a great change in our life and also in our relationship with people. So let's say when we did this book study of battling dark forces, we were being aware of the reality of life in totality, where we were a lot of times being aware of how our system is responding and reacting. And people saw and experienced amazing change. Now, in Spring of Prosperity, oh wow, when I'm saying, the reference I'm getting is there is Mahabharat and there is Bhagavad Gita. Let's say there's Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharat and there is Ashtavakra Gita, right? So let's say the Mahabharat is the battle, the Bhagavad Gita is the teachings of, let's say, the righteous thing to do, dharma and adharma, right? Righteous and non-righteous thing, but from the aspect or perspective, or but from the context of a battle. Yes, from the aspect of battle. But then when we refer to Ashtavakra Gita, it is again the same lesson, the lesson of righteousness, non-righteousness, the life aspect, but it is from the aspect or the context of life, not just any battle. It's the context of life. And when I'm saying, I'm feeling as if these two book studies are going to be in the same correspondence. Battling Dark Forces has the context of Kurukshetra. We have one chapter on our battleground, as if it was from the aspect of our enemies around and how it impacts us and how we become the part of our enemy. But the Spring of Prosperity is going to be again the journey of identifying, building your connection with your true self. And as we connect with ourselves, it's byproduct that our connection with everyone increases. But then this is not in context of any battle, but life itself. It's just so beautiful. So the author is saying that just like the golden eye of Taurus, we have a corresponding eye that is watching the evolution of our lives in all our vehicles. And that eye is the monad, the self, our true individuality. And once we become aware of our true self, we see a great change in our life, in our relationship with people. So when you increase the consciousness of the presence of the I within you, I'll read that again. When you increase the consciousness of the presence of the I within you, you will adjust and harmonize all your actions, emotions, and thoughts to its keynote, to the symphony of the inner I, which always invites you to follow the path of light, the path of love, the path of striving towards beauty. I feel some blankness as well. So let's say there is a big I that is taking care of the evolution of the entire humanity. Corresponding, we have individual I, the monad, which is taking a check, keeping a check on how, as a soul, our vehicles are evolving. Okay. So the author is saying when we increase the consciousness of the presence of that I, not I as the I, but EYEI. When we increase the consciousness of the I that is there within us, by default, we start adjusting ourselves and harmonizing all our actions, emotions, thoughts to the keynote of the I. That I that is keeping a check of our evolution. Okay, I'll put it in a different words. Again, in the little one or two chapters before, or just the chapter before, let me see if I can find the exact words to say. So there is a question in one chapter before that there are so many things you try to write sentences and you lose them. So this is in context with that when people do meditation, like when people are reading something and then when they are meditating on something, let's say a seed thought meditation, a lot of things comes up, right? When we are contemplating, a lot of information and knowledge comes up. So somebody asked the author the question that there are so many things you try to write sentences and you lose them. Same like you saw a dream or you had a very spiritual experience, but when you started writing them, you feel as if I'm not able to recall everything. I experienced more, but something is missing. Oh my God, something is missing. So that is the question that there are so many things you try to write and you lose them. So the author says, yes, that is your type, dear. That is your type. But when you put something on paper, later come back and develop it, if you do not do that, then you will lose it. So it is like the moment you're experiencing, journal so that you can go back to it. If you don't journal, then you lose it. That is why Master Moria says many times that the call comes, but you do not sustain it. That there is a call that comes to you, but we don't sustain it. The call comes, a scratching comes, and you say, ah, but then you say, oh, my dinner. It is like everybody, every human being, regardless, we get those spiritual calls. We get those little scratches where I say, oh, wow, I feel inspired to do something. But then the other moment is like, oh, it's dinner time. Oh, it's this time. Oh, it's laundry time. Oh, it's sleeping time. Oh, it's Netflix time. When I was small, Saint Paul said, I used to go wherever I like to go. But when I became elder, which means initiate, they lead me. And they want me to go wherever they want me to go. So when I was young, I go wherever I want. But then when I was elder, elder as in an initiate, when there is an ascension of consciousness, they lead me. And then I go wherever they ask me to go. For some of you, or many of you here who have been with me for quite some time, you remember there was an experience when I shared that I notice as there is transformation and happening between, I mean, inside me, I feel as if my choices are becoming very limited. I don't, I cannot do it. You remember, right? That you have to do it. So if I have to do this book reading, I have to do this book reading. If one person is joining, I have to do it. If nobody joining, I have to still be there and do it. As if I don't have choice. So in that same line, there is a question. Is it because your will is becoming one with the will that is not lost? So the answer is yes, that is it. Of course, it is not lost. It's not that your will is losing. It is a way of speech, a trap that we must understand. When you see in groups, for example, in ashramic groups, that a man has started to be selfish, self willed, it means that he is crystallized. He is out of the tide. He is thrown away. He has lost the grace. Then she or he can excuse himself by saying that man must have a free will to do anything he wants with his divine gifts. Are you understanding the beauty? That selfishness, when that is there, when a being is a small child, then that being talks about, I want uh, a free will so that I can use my divine gifts in whichever way I want. That is a false, deceiving interpretation and a self deceiving direction. Your will must merge into the will of the group and on to the will of the hierarchy, to the will of Shambhala, and to the will of God. So when your will merge, it is no in the great invocation or in this archangel meditation also, when we say, that I'm in divine order, I follow the divine plan. Or let's say when there is this prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, where it says, Thy will be done. That is not talking about that you are becoming robotic. It's not how the divine white light, like the light workers work. We know that in battling dark forces. The evil takes away our choices, but the divine always gives us the opportunity to choose. But here it is saying, as we ascend, as we transform within, our will start becoming merging with the will of the group, the will of Shambhala, the will of hierarchy, the will of God. Okay. This was explained very succinctly and very beautifully by it's here, by one word of Christ. What did he say? Thy will be done. He renounced everything. Thy will, which is now my will, be done. There is a great mystery about that. I went there because of the same paragraph that we were reading, that when you increase the consciousness of the presence of the I within you, you will adjust and harmonize all your actions, emotions, and thoughts to its keynote. Because that I, the monad, is the correspondence of the I of the Taurus. Does that make sense to everyone now? Yeah. So when that consciousness that I exist in me, that consciousness increases, automatically our actions, our emotions, our thoughts, every aspect of our vehicle starts coming into symphony, in harmony, in alignment by default with the divine plan, with the divine will. So in limited words, we feel, oh, I don't have free will. I feel I just have to follow. But in reality, I have the free will, but my free will is merging with the higher will. So thy will, that is my will, be done. Okay. So when you increase the consciousness of the presence of the I within you, you will adjust and harmonize all your actions, emotions, and thoughts to its keynote, to the symphony of the inner I, which always invites you to follow the path of light, the path of love, the path of striving towards beauty. So when that will merges, we by default follow this path, the path of love, light, striving towards beauty. So from the eye of Taurus pours down an energy which in esoteric literature is called the energy of desire. So from this eye of Taurus, there is an energy that pours down, which in esoteric literature means the literature which is there for a smaller group of people who are open to understand life from hidden dynamics or inner meanings and not just the outward story of it. Okay. So from the eye of Taurus pours down an energy which in esoteric literature is called the energy of desire. Now, desire is the energy of the spark. It's so interesting. In the Vedanta, I was talking to somebody and I was saying, like, for example, Chinmaya mission is there, where the teacher is Swami Chinmayananda ji. And if I listen to him, his teachings, he always starts out with, like body, mind, and there is something that he says, but above it, he says that all the problems of the human being are there because of the presence of desires. True. Because we have desires, there are attachments, there are entanglements. But then when I read this, I was literally scratching my head internally that the eye, from the eye of Taurus, pours down energy, which in esoteric literature is called the energy of desire. Desire is the energy of the spark. That means from the supreme consciousness, from the big pool of fire, if one spark, that is me, is separated and that ego is formed, the monad is formed, that monad itself has the energy of desire. Because if there is no desire, nobody will do anything. Even let's say if I don't have the desire to read the book, why will I read the book? Right? So the author has talked about desire as well. So desire is the energy of the spark or the developing human soul. So what is the spark? That spark is the developing human soul. And nobody develops without the desires. You need to have a desire, right? How we say my child is not motivated. There is no desire. He does not want to get marks. You say you will have to, become a rickshaw wala. And he says, fine. Then what's the need? I will do rickshaw. Correct, right? That to achieve something, to finish any project, we really need to have the desire. So I think I don't want to stop here, but we have Om Mani Padme Home session. We will continue next Thursday from here. It's just getting so beautiful. And I want to say to everyone, this is one aspect of book reading. When we do it in just the book reading, we go wild. Wild with our experiences, our experiments, and yeah. But thank you so much, everyone, because of you all and because of that desire of a bigger group that seeks knowledge, that seeks that wisdom, that understanding. that is the answer by the greater beings, no, that such book studies are coming. And then it's not just that we are doing any stealing. The author, the right organization, they know and they support what we are doing. So it's like everything is done righteously. So thank you so much, everybody. Question about full moons. What does it mean to be born on a full moon day? Oh, that even I do not know. Probably when I'll know, I'll share. But as far as the full moon are concerned, we will share the entire, whenever we have started this book reading, we have been talking about full moon. And I think uh, this the constellation of Aries, before we started talking about it, we had a proper discussion on the full moons. So those recordings are already shared in the YouTube. Probably you can go through them, and then we can connect dots. Okay, for connecting dots, the guidance that I'm getting is just like we read in the book today, that there is the golden eye of Taurus, and then there is a correspondent eye. So probably when you will read more about the full moons, and then if you will contemplate its connection with your birth on a specific full moon, probably you may get a lot of more information. We will learn seed thought meditation in Spring of Prosperity. I'll guide you how to do it much better. YouTube name is Heal Yourself with Kim. We will share the recordings. Thank you so much, everyone. And then we will go ahead with, I think, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you.